Well, Star Trek just lost one of its legendary writers of its 90s series, Jeri Taylor. And she did so much for Star Trek. A lot of people might not even know like how crucial she was towards some of the best years of what Star Trek had to offer. And that is through Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Voyager. And she did a wonderful job, was a great writer, and she'll be missed. We'll go over some reactions of it and kind of go over just who she was and what she did in this video. Guys, it is a sad day for Star Trek, and our thoughts and our prayers go out to Jeri Taylor and her family. And we wish the best for everybody, of course. As you can see from TrekCore.com, it says, a sad farewell to Star Trek Voyager co-creator Jeri Taylor, who passed away yesterday. Taylor rose through the ranks at her time at TNG before taking the helm on Voyager, serving as showrunner of the first several seasons of the Janeway-led series. She also was a showrunner for Next Generation for at least a season there. And so she did quite a bit of work, as I said. So we'll get into this news in just a minute. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for, of course, hitting the like and subscribe button to our channel. Really appreciate you guys. We cover everything science fiction and fantasy here. And, this is something that's a little more personally interested to me than probably a lot of the content that we do on here, because I'm a big Star Trek fan growing up. And this was a crucial time for me as a person who was very, very interested in Star Trek and interested in writing. And so it means a lot to me. Jeri Taylor's work was really, really quality, like I said, and she went beyond just this sort of stuff. Now, I am a professional science fiction writer now. And I would like you to check out my books if you are interested in Star Trek and like this kind of thing, and you like the classic years of the 90s and the like. This is a little more on the DS9 vein, I would say, but my Arishan War is a lot of fun. It's quality science fiction you'll love. And it's a 3-book trilogy, and it does pay off to read all 3 books like in succession because it builds. And so I definitely recommend you do that. Grab this in the description below. It's on ebook, print, and audio. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and for supporting our artistic efforts. It's much appreciated that we have a lot of great readers in the audience here. So as I said, Jeri Taylor passed away. And if you just go into her Wikipedia a little bit, you see that she joined the Next Generation writing staff at the beginning of the 4th season. And 4th season really was peak TNG. We're actually rewatching it right now. My wife's watching it for the first time. And 4th season is just really the best of Star Trek. If you're new to Star Trek, I mean, that's really... Next Generation is really a thing you can watch without watching prior episodes and things like that. Maybe just start with the best of both worlds at the end of season 3. There's a couple episodes maybe before that that are crucial, but season 4 is just like every single episode just fires on all cylinders. And she wrote this beautiful episode called Suddenly Human, where this boy gets captured by the Enterprise, and he's human, but he thinks he's an alien, and he thinks he's part of this warrior race of aliens, and he wants to get back to his warrior race. And it turns out he's like the grandson of an admiral, and Picard has to deal with like, okay, do we try to like convince him to rejoin the human race and come back to the Federation? And eventually they realize, you know what, we got to let the boy and his current family exist as they want to exist. And it's interesting because it's such a tale of personal freedom. And even though Picard really does want to push the boy into the Federation way of life because it's, quote, the good life, at this point, he does acquiesce at the end of it. It's a rare one where like the Enterprise and Picard and company don't just win outright, but they let the boy go and let him go back to his family. Like I said, it's a personal freedom story for families, something that's pretty based in like you would not get in modern Star Trek by any means. And so, as you can see here, after 2 years, she became co-executive producer with Rick Berman and Michael Piller, and served as executive producer and showrunner for the 7th season of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And those are the best years. She worked from season 4 to season 7, and those are 100% the best years of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And so she worked on Will Wheaton's final episode as a regular character by Wesley. I was like, please go away. She introduced the Cardassian race, and then she also wrote a part of Unification, which was a very fun episode of Spock working with the Romulans. And she said the most script she's most proud of was the Drumhead. So good stuff there. And during that last year, she was working to develop Star Trek Voyager with Rick Berman and Michael Piller. And Voyager became like her baby, really. Now she was not just doing Voyager, and I'm going to out myself as a big Star Trek nerd here, but she wrote novels for Star Trek also, and I love the Star Trek novels. It's like my passion here in a way. So she wrote this novel Mosaic for Voyager, which is hailed as like one of the best novels. It's basically the tale of Janeway before she became the captain of Voyager, so you kind of get her backstory, and it's really in depth. This is where she really developed the character, and you can see like a very interesting character development here, which is like goes way beyond the show. And there was a sequel novel to this also, which was really good. But this is hailed as one of the best Star Trek novels out there. Period. And it's because of that intense character development. Now, Star Trek novels get crazy. Like if you're a Star Wars fan and you've seen, the extended universe there's a literary universe for Star Trek, which developed after the shows ended in the 90s. This is the almighty Star Trek Litverse reading flowchart, and you can see it's rather insanely complicated, and there's a lot of it. And I've read a lot of these books, and it's definitely been an inspiration to me in my writings in trying to build a world that I've wanted to go to. So Mosaic's definitely a big part of that as well. So a couple of the Voyager cast members did react on Twitter about this, and Robert Picardo, who played the EMH and is still playing, is going to reprise the EMH in Starfleet Academy coming soon, said, "What a wonderful person to work with. Jeri Taylor was the beating heart of Star Trek Voyager's groundbreaking Kathryn Janeway character. I will miss her. My condolences to her family." And obviously, she had a good part of making the EMH as well, since she was the showrunner of Voyager. So she worked on all the great characters there. Kate Mulgrew, who played Kathryn Janeway, also said what she gave her sort of obituary. Is that the right word for this at this point? Gave her reaction, I guess. She said, "Jeri Taylor was responsible in large part for changing my life. She was elegant, erudite, and fiercely opinionated. She wanted Kathryn Janeway to be a significant part of her legacy, and I think there's no doubt that the endeavor that she succeeded." And she continued, she says, "I owe her a debt of gratitude. May she rest in peace." So, sad stuff for the days. She was 88 years old, so did definitely live a full life, and definitely, was on the elderly side. Can't be too surprising at this point. But I think she did tremendous work on both the Next Generations and the Star Trek Voyager shows, and those novels are really excellent as well. She did a third novel also, which was a novelization of the Unification episodes that was from Star Trek The Next Generation as well. And that was her work in the novelverse there, for those who are interested in literary stuff on this end. All right. RIP to Jeri Taylor, a hell of a writer, and definitely an inspiration. So thank you guys for watching, and have a great rest of your weekend. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Leave comments about what you thought about Star Trek The Next Generation, Jeri Taylor and her influence, and of course, Star Trek Voyager as well. Did you read these novels? I'd love to hear from you. And please, guys, check out my own books. John Delarose, as I said, this is my Arishan War trilogy, and I would be honored if you'd give it a read. It's in the description below. We'll be back soon.